Hello, welcome to psychology. I thought I wrote the word, but doesn't matter. I wrote the title of the first section in this book and in this lesson and in this whole world of mine dealing with psychology. And so what we're gonna do is listen to me talk, and you're just gonna watch the video and comment and stuff and thumbs up it. But I'm gonna do my best to give you a presentation summarizing like what psychology is all about, how we study it, what it does, like how it helps us, how great it is, and a bunch of other random stuff. So here we're going to focus on the scientific attitude. Attitude is important. Critical thinking is important. Arguing is also important. Now, so what is psychology? Like, first you have to make sure you know how to spell it, because many people spell this word wrong, and I just lose all respect for them after that, and I just don't even listen to whatever they got to say. So make sure you know how to spell psychology. Now, it all began many years ago, where two people were just talking about random stuff. It probably began with the first person that learned how to lie. Like, think about it. There was a time when people didn't lie. Then someone lied, but no one knew he was lying, or she. Maybe it was a girl. Who knows? It was probably a girl, actually. Well, who would know? Maybe they both lied. Did the same. This is very fascinating to me, because how did they know if someone was lying? How did the person lying know? What the hell? This is so powerful. It must have been a weird change of perspective, because they realized that lying led to them obtaining a bunch of stuff, and then a bunch of people lied, and then now we have different viewpoints, different perspectives, and I'm not really sure that's actually how it started, but it sounds good and something to ponder. For example, who was the first person to lie? Who lies more? Those are questions you can ask in psychology. Is lying sometimes necessary? Now, the point being, though, is that psychology wasn't really considered a science before, because it's these questions aren't really scientific. How the hell are you gonna measure stuff like that? How are you gonna debate and come to a rational conclusion based on what you're arguing? Because a lot of these questions were just based on a person's opinion, which is important to know, because people older than me still don't understand when they're arguing topics that are subjective, meaning topics that are based on their opinion. There is no right or wrong, or there is no correct or incorrect. It's all based on our judging whatever we're trying to argue or debate over. So for example, let's say you're hanging out, people, maybe your friend, mom, whoever, and you're arguing over no, I'm a better drawer. My drawing's better. And you're like, no. Your mom's like, no, my drawing's better. Like, no, my drawing's better. And you guys are getting very angry. You're crying, and you're hitting your friend, calling friends up, telling them about how your mom thinks she's a better drawer than you, and your mom's calling her I don't know, her, who do moms call? Do moms call their mom? Well, maybe, but yeah, same sort of thing. But there isn't really a better until you determine objectively, or a way you can measure it logically or rationally, what better means. Because better, if you're thinking of normal talk, is whose is better? You have to ask people, oh, that drawing's better, and someone says the other drawing. So maybe you could say better will be which drawing is better? The number of votes it gets. Better equals number of votes. So you ask 1,000 people, said which one do you think is better? And then 500 to 500 vote for each one, and it's equal. So neither one is better, we say. But you have to have a way to define better. Is it the one that has more colors? The one that can sell for more money? There's ways to define it. But that's important that we understand when we're dealing with psychology now, because before it was always no one really cared. Real scientists, by real science I mean scientists who thought there will never be a way that psychology can be taken seriously, meaning that they were studying probably chemistry, physics, the math sciences, which are also really cool. But once we learn how to apply, honestly, how to apply math and logic and rationale to psychology, then it became objective, meaning that like you could ask questions in a way where you could logically define what is correct and incorrect. So like maybe like you're saying, who's faster? So like the other day, two of my friends were arguing about who was faster. So it was basketball, and then it was Odie. Odie and basketball were arguing like, I'm faster. No, I'm faster. He's like, no, I'm faster. I'm faster. And like, I'm like, guys, stop arguing. Let's just figure it out. And then they're like, yeah, that's smart. And they both go to the whiteboard, grab a whiteboard marker, and I tell them to see who can answer like problems 1 through 5 faster. Like I timed them, and Odie won. He got one of them right. The basketball didn't even move. It just fell to the ground from gravity. So Odie is faster. But the faster was defined as who could answer more math problems correctly. It wasn't defined as to like who could run around the world in a less amount of time, who could kick a punching bag with more kicks in a minute. Faster has to be defined. Isn't that right, Odie? Yes. See? And then he is now part of a scientific study, or a psychology study, because now we figure out a way to define faster in a psychological way, in a scientific way, meaning that it was measurable objectively. So once we were able to do it with psychology, then they're like, all right, that's fine, it's cool, we accept it kind of, but we're working on, psychology still has a lot of work to do because there's still a lot of things that are very hard to like quantify. Like the other day, my students were asking about like free will, and just right away we're like, how the hell do we measure free will? That's hard. The studies I've looked at, they've kind of had different ways, but it all involve really complex, like electrical signals of the brain, how you perceive, and it's just still very, very weird, and not easy to do, and still debatable. So that's the thing. We want to make sure that psychology is objective and can apply scientific principle. Scientific principles like the scientific method, replication, testing, that sort of thing. Scientific, and I need to learn how to spell scientific principles. Can be applied. And we're going to talk about this, or I will talk and you will listen. Well, people who will want to also talk will also talk with me. Scientific principles can be applied. I don't really remember exactly what I was planning to write, but just so it's up there. Now, like all sciences, we have to have like passion for psychology. We don't want to be involved in an area of like a subject or a topic that we don't care about. Remember, this is like that's like what students do in high school. They go to class, they don't care about a lot of their stuff they're learning. That's fine, but if you're going to be in psychology, you better be interested, because I'm going to be very sad and angry. I'm probably going to kick you out, or I probably won't, because I'm probably going to hope that you'll one day get interested. But usually, so far, last year I had my first AP psychology class. Well, they're all APs. But I just like saying it. Well, actually, I think there are some classes that aren't AP. But they were like they liked it. It was great. It seems like they loved it. There was like a class several of them said they actually liked going to, and like they actually meant it. No, I wasn't like them students in my math class that just, I love this class, and it's like, come on, man, I can see the lie on your eyebrows. But yeah, psychology is cool and interesting because it has so many uses. Like, useful. How is it useful? For solving personal problems. Solves personal problems. We all got problems. I got problems. You got problems. Your dog has got problems. My mom, your dad, your sister, your cousin, your friend's gardener. We all got problems. If you don't got problems, your life sucks, because then you got nothing to like work on. And problems tends to have a bad connotation, but it's just basically a thing that needs to be worked on in order to be accomplished or finished. So like, don't think of problems as being bad. Think of problems as actually being good, because it gives you something it gives you like a focus, gives you some focused thing to work on. Like you don't want to be like not knowing what you are gonna be like aiming for. It's like, they're like goals, I would say. So understanding what our problems are important, to obviously help us, be happier in life and help us, enjoy it, have more enjoyment. So what I like to do is break problems up into three main areas. They can fall into like money problems or finances. Now, since you guys are in school, or when you're in school, your finances are your schooling, how much school you take, how much time you spend studying and all that. Because they found studies that I don't want to say the amount because I forgot it exactly, but essentially shows that the more time you spend studying or on homework throughout your life before you actually get a full career that pays money, it actually contributes to like some amount of dollars per hour. Let's say for every extra hour you spend studying in high school, you make another $100 in your life. So stay in school, but stay in school for things you like and are fun and are cool, like psychology. The other thing are your health problems. We all have to make sure our health is in check. Like, it sucks, and God forbid it, that you or I or someone, get serious health conditions like cancer and whatnot. But we all got health problems in the sense that we all got to make sure that we go and take care of ourselves. We got our sleep. We got to make sure we eat a good diet. Make sure we get our Panda Express, every day, and make sure we, exercise. Make sure we are hitting the gym, hitting the weights. Even like using the bathroom. Like people forget, like I tell people and like my students and people like strangers across the street, not really, but sometimes I'll tell people like think of working out, exercise as if going to the bathroom. You're not like, well, I went to the bathroom yesterday, I don't have to go today. I pooped yesterday, so I'm good today. Oh, I ate yesterday, I don't have to eat for 2 days. Like, no, that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. Every day, whenever you make it like part of your lifestyle, forever. So your health is key, because if you don't got good health, it's gonna affect you mentally. Now, the third area is your social problems, like your friends, your family, your boyfriend, girlfriend, pets. Like we all need friends and social belonging. We all need to have interaction with others. Otherwise, again, we're gonna not be mentally fulfilled. And so it's important that every day when you wake up and throughout that you're checking, like not like looking at a board and writing like, oh God, I got like in your head, like whenever you're having like you're feeling like just not happy or just like again like a I don't know how to say it, but you're like, what? Like, why I'm doing all my homework, getting good grades, but I'm feeling like like I'm missing something. Yeah, you may be missing something from one of these areas that you're not fully fulfilling. And everyone has these to like certain levels. Like, think of it as like maybe 1 to 10, 1 to 10, 1 to 10. And again, this is just a way to make it more objective. But like, think of like people who need you to like give them 100 likes on their Instagram and to give them like a comment within 5 seconds of them posting. Otherwise, they're gonna text you and call you and say, "Why didn't you like my photo? It's been up there for 7.3 seconds and you haven't liked it." And you're like, "Well, I was taking a test. It doesn't matter. I thought you were my friend." And like they get mad when they get less than 500 likes. Some people just need more. That's it may also be an implication of something else, because maybe they just haven't had any love or interaction for a very long while, and they're just making up for it in a short amount of time. So everyone has all these to some extent, but again, it's not that clearly. It's not like you can measure it on a scale. It's just a way to think about it. Like some people just love playing sports, some people just love exercising, some people just love doing vigorous stuff. Some people are cool with just walking, on the park, with the birds and like fish and whatever parks have, like grass and like, lambs or whatever, that sort of thing. Some people need a lot of money. Some people need just enough to make sure that you got enough Panda Express for the rest of your life and that you can pay your rent and play basketball. Yeah. Now, the last part I want to go over, well, not the last part I want to go over, I want to go over a lot of stuff, but I'm going to try to keep it within a few more minutes because I'm sure you're probably already tired of hearing me ramble, is you got to have the right attitude. And like, what is the right attitude? Like, people always say, have a good attitude, be positive, blah, blah, blah. Like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean, like, I'm not a battery, or like you can't always just say positive stuff, right? Like, oh, good job. Like, that's great. Awesome. Those stupid stickers that people have, not stupid, but they're just like stupid and cheesy. You gotta, keep things in perspective, and you have to make sure you're constantly asking questions and really making your own opinions, like for every little thing. Honestly, the more the better, but things that you are like, studying especially. So you got to be curious about what you're doing if you're spending a lot of time with it. So if you're spending a lot of time in psychology class or in any class, you should be curious. You shouldn't be like sitting there and like staring at the wall and like, oh, like, well, I don't know what the answer is, Mr. Dela Cruz. You haven't told us. Well, the question was that, what do you like about psychology? Like, yeah, but you never taught us that before. Like, oh, I mean, I shouldn't have. Like, yeah, how is that on a test? You gotta make sure you understand and are thinking. It's not like math. Even math. I mean, I get that all the time in math, but psychology is very people can understand how personal it is right away. It's because we all got our own opinions about stuff. We all got our own views, and we have to be sure to recognize that there is really no normal view. Our view is not like a normal view, and everyone else has that same view. It doesn't work that way. Meaning that, for example, like people like want to be like, I want to be good looking. Why can't everybody be good looking? Like, you want good looking people, right? So like looks, like there's some like crazy I forgot what it was. I don't know, like content. I forgot what I don't know, but like let's just say looks are rated on a scale from 1 to 10, right? That's usually how people rate each other. And like everyone should be good looking, right? Everyone should be a 10. Well, if everyone is a 10, then everyone's the same amount of good looking. But then there's no good looking. Everyone just looks the same. Everyone's equally. Then like there is really no difference. Who cares what people look like then if we're all looking the same? Like there has to be people who will, on average, be rated as better looking than other people, and vice versa. People who are going to be rated less good looking than other people on average, and the average based on what they would say the average person looks like. So we need to understand this. Like looks, we could say like, for example, like, oh, I want everyone to be tall. Everyone should be 6 feet. It's like, if everyone's 6 feet, nobody's tall. We're all the same height. Like, just keep this idea or this simple principle in your head all the time, forever, because people forget this. We want to have differences in heights and looks and intelligence and opinions about stuff. We don't all want to think the same thing about everything. Then we're all just going to be robots, and there's going to be no point of having humans, because what you'll learn as you go through this course, and you're going to understand yourself better and better as you start thinking and applying these to every single thing we do. It's not like I have like I have my black hair is what makes me me. Oh, I mean, this black shirt is what makes me me. It's like, oh, you're the fact that you drive that pink car makes you you. Those are not the things that will make you you. It's the combination of all these things. Combination of my black hair, my Panda Express subscription, the fact that I like psychology and math and stats, and I have OD, and I watch what did I watch? I watch a bunch of MMA shows, and I like drawing. Like all these combinations is what makes you you, but they're all different combinations when you compare them to somebody else, and it's having this that's going to keep us like healthy, recognizing that this is what makes us cool and makes us fun. So keep that in mind. So be curious, be skeptical, always asking questions, be willing to accept, but like don't just be like Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, it sounds like if 1 plus 1 equals 2. Yeah, 5 plus 7 equals 1, 2. Yeah, that makes sense. Like that's cool. Like you got no, like just make sure you understand what's going on. Ask questions. Be like, why did 1 plus 1 equals 2? And then that if 1 plus 1 equals 2, wouldn't that be blah blah blah? And you'll know this is wrong. A dog plus a cat doesn't equal a bird. So be curious, skeptical, and have humility. Don't be stubborn. Don't go into arguments with the purpose of I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win the argument today because I'm right. And I know that UFOs have been to my house 10 times in the past week. Like I don't care. I don't care what he says. Then you realize, oh crap, maybe they haven't, but then you don't want to admit it because you've committed yourself to being right, and that's really the only reason you're arguing. Like if that's the only reason you're arguing is to beat the other person, you're gonna be in a very bad headspace, and you're gonna honestly have, unfortunately, on an unhappy life. You're gonna be not having good relationships with friends because that's like how you approach discussions. You approach them to win. You approach them to like beat the other person, and that's what unfortunately they're kind of doing. And I don't blame the youth because I think the news and all these different TV shows argue, and they kind of like say, yeah, prove all of your haters wrong and all that. That's not what you're supposed to do. If you're trying to be the best, Olympic swimmer, your goal shouldn't be to beat and prove all the people that said you couldn't swim that you could swim. That's a stupid motivation. Like by the time you become the Olympic champion, they're gonna be like, "I said that. Who are you? Oh, sorry, I said that." And you're gonna be like, "What the hell? I've been mad at you for 50 years, and you don't even remember my name." Like, oh yeah, I mean, I think I was in high school when I told you that. That was probably just joking around. What? You ruined my high school life because you told me that, people actually fall victim to this, unfortunately. Like, don't obsess yourself with these sort of things, and as long as you recognize it's about the issue. Like it's about being the fastest swimmer. It's about being good at swimming. It's about being fast at swimming, so fast that your time is faster than any other human on being. It's not about proving other people wrong, or like if you're trying to determine like, is this like the best person to vote for because they're going to be the person that helps me live a better life, helps my children have a better life. Not because you just do that because they're against your team, not because they're part of the Lakers or part of the Celtics. Celtics are wrong, actually. Let's change the analogy. Um, like, just don't make it about that. Make it about the truth and solving the problem. Make it about, like if as a teacher, when parents come to me and they're like, some of them will be like, my kid's failing your class. He says you're picking on him and that you didn't give him you didn't teach him this stuff, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, what do you think we can do to help him now? Like, let's get this kid this A. And then I've learned that once they realize that you're actually coming from that perspective, because I bet they're so used to like the teacher then being defensive and attacking them back. Like, no, I told him I studied. I told him how to study. I told him about that test, blah blah blah, and it becomes a battle. But then if I make it about helping the kid raise his grade, then they don't really get they ease up, and they're like not aggressive, and they're cool. Yeah, let's help, because that's ultimately what they want. That's what I want. I don't want my kids to hate me. I want my kids to actually like me. So it's never about that. It's always about making them better at math so they can get that grade or get whatever they're trying to, whatever it is to get through the class, and be happy. That's what all teams should make you happy. All right, that's enough of me rambling. So any comments, questions, leave them. And I will be back in the next video, hopefully sooner than later. And of course, if you like this video, give me like many thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and tell me how great I am. If not, just give me some feedback, because I really need help to improve. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.